Hi, welcome to This Week in Data, your guide to the modern data culture, brought to you by Pragmatic Works. My name is Devin Knight.
And I'm Adam Jorgensen, and today we're going to talk about hacking your professional development.
Ooh.
Taking some new approaches to being the best you can be in the professional world.
I like your best you dance there. That
yes.
If you're listening, you didn't see that it was a good dance.
No, but all the more reason to come to YouTube.
Yes, exactly. But first, we have some news, right?
Yes.
So I dug out some news I thought was interesting, some interesting data collection news.
Okay.
We just had a couple weeks ago Thanksgiving, and of course right after that Black Friday,
right.
Cyber Monday, all these shopping. Well, it turns out a lot of people have been collecting data on this, or as much data as they could possibly collect on it.
I'm shocked.
You're shocked, yes,
right.
Obviously. And it turns out Black Friday sales were actually up 9% over last year, so it's going up a little bit. And the bump was actually fueled more by online sales, not surprisingly.
Yep.
And the e-commerce sales actually rose by a little bit more than 8%. Physical store sales still grew by 8.5%. And it looks like about 25% of Black Friday dollars are spent on e-commerce or online sales.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so how about you? Do you buy, I know I do. I buy a lot online.
I don't go to the store unless absolutely required.
Yeah.
My Prime account is platinum status, if that's the thing. I buy a lot online. I did all my Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping online, and got some great deals.
Yeah, the only reason I went to the store, I did go out on Friday. I waited until about 2 o'clock.
Aaron needed you to go?
No, you know what it was? Is I wanted to get a new backpack, a new bag.
Okay.
But I wanted to see it.
It's tough to do that online unless you already saw it.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
with you.
So I went to Best Buy. I tried out the bag, found one I liked. And
did you do it on your phone? Tell me you did it on your phone.
I did do it on my phone.
Yes.
Normally Best Buy will price match. They don't do that on Black Friday weekend.
Really?
Yeah. I found that out as I got to the register. Hey, I'd like to price match this. And they said, not this weekend, sucker. So, how do we both point out the word sucker at the same time? Yeah, I guess so. But it was interesting. So even Cyber Monday sales were up a little bit.
Right.
But it looks like the online sales on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Black Friday is challenging Cyber Monday as being the highest online sale day. So it looks like
it's catching up to Cyber Monday?
It's catching up to Cyber Monday, and it's not so much a certain day for sales, it's just kind of a multiple weekend, over the weekend.
I think that makes sense, Devin. You know, we had my family in town for the holiday, right? And my wife, my mom went out a little bit on Black Friday, but before they left, my mother had a whole list of things, and she went online and bought all the, quote, important stuff, right, from these very specific things that she knew she wanted for gifts and that type of thing. And then they went out and wandered a little bit and probably bought a couple of things.
Sure.
But the important stuff was online deals, and they took advantage of it.
Absolutely. All right, for our next story, are you a Spotify user? Do you use Spotify?
I am. I do use Spotify.
I like Spotify. There's a lot of other services out there that are similar. We've talked about this on the show before, and we like really all of them, but Spotify is one I use.
I just like Spotify.
Okay. Well, can you imagine, first of all, how much data that they have collected about their users?
Oh, it's got to be a lot.
They've collected a ton of data about their users, and they're starting to use it. Sounds like Skynet or something taking over. They're starting to use it. Now, Spotify is using their data to launch a new outdoor ad campaign. So things like billboards, things you would see outside. And they're using some aggregated data as well as some data about individuals to generate some headlines like this. So here's a couple of the headlines. Dear person who played Sorry 42 times on Valentine's Day, what did you do? Dear person in the theater district who listened to the Hamilton soundtrack 5,376 times this year, can you get us tickets?
They cannot.
Yes. Dear 3,749 people who streamed It's the End of the World as We Know It, the day of the Brexit vote, hang in there.
Oh. Well, at least they're trying to be encouraging.
Yeah.
It's very motivating.
It's kind of fun. So
as long as they don't publish my 80s glam rock playlist online.
There was some like
I'm
that.
Okay.
Where there were particular playlists that people were listening to that they called out as well. So there was some interesting ones.
I'm very proud of my eclectic music taste, so I'm not embarrassed.
And then the last story I have here for you comes from Russia. I almost said Mother Russia. It comes from Russia.
Took me a lot.
Russia's made moves to actually block LinkedIn in Mother Russia.
They do not want to be LinkedIn.
They do not want to link in with people basically over data storage.
Okay.
And so a Moscow court has actually upheld this move to block LinkedIn that regulators are looking at, basically because the personal data of Russians is not stored in Russia. And so because of that, they're making moves to try and currently right now block LinkedIn.
So they think it would be more secure stored in Russia?
Apparently so.
That's an interesting thought process.
Apparently so, yeah.
I think most other companies would be upset if their data was being stored in Russia.
Yeah.
Many of them probably have data stored in Russia they don't know about.
That could be as well. So yeah, the LinkedIn doesn't currently list Russia as a place that they have an office. I think the closest one was Ireland or something like that.
That's fixable.
Yeah, you would think that's a pretty easy fix.
Hang a sign, get an intern, call it a day.
Put a server in a room.
Give Putin a tour.
So it's a big stopping point until they actually move data in Russia, whether or not they'll do LinkedIn. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, so on to our big topic, right?
Yeah, our main topic today is hacking your professional development. We didn't really tie that into your Russia story, but I think it's probably a good segue.
Yeah.
And so there's a few steps, like, kind of one, two, three type steps that I want to go through.
Okay.
Where, we really help and put a lot of focus at Pragmatic Works on helping people learn and develop probably faster than the average professional,
Sure.
right? So we're consultants. We want to try to stay up on the most current stuff. And so in order to do that, you have to have a plan.
Right.
And so what I want to do today, I thought we'd talk through some of the kind of guidance we give our own team and, see if it helps everybody else.
That sounds good. I like that. So what's your first step you got for me?
So step one, you have to commit to being better.
Okay.
So you can't just say, well, I want to learn this, and I want to learn that, and there's a lot of stuff I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. You have to commit. So you actually have to define where you want to be in 12 months. And say you're a developer today, what kind of applications or solutions do you want to be able to build in 12 months that you can't do today? So paint that picture for yourself of what you want to be able to do in 6 or 12 months.
I like it. I think it's much more specific, or you got much more specific. The commit to being better sounds like it could be a poster that you
have. Like a vision board?
Yeah. But then you get in the details of it.
Right.
And talk about, here's exactly where I want to be in the next 12 months. If you get really specific with it, I think that's a great first step.
You should be able, my sort of litmus test is you should be able to explain it to somebody else and have them know exactly what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that, you're committed.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, it's a vision board, right? Nothing against people who use vision boards. Actually, yeah, against people who use vision boards. That was pretty much a direct dig. Nice. Step two, think about yourself like a startup.
Okay.
So you've set your goal, you've set your vision, you know where you want to go, right? But if you think about your own professional development as a startup, you're going to set a target, right? So you know what you need to get in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right? Most startups don't say, this year we're going to do X, right? They have real measurable targets they hit along the way,
right?
So the second thing we have to do is work on our funding and support. Okay. So we might need access to some tools or a cloud account or
training.
Training. Yeah. So some of that is widely available for pretty low cost, but even low cost might be $20 a month, or it might be a couple $100 a month if your company's investing and helping you get involved in a program. So discuss with your team, with your manager, with your community. Think about user groups, right? How are you going to get access to the information that you need?
So I like that. So just like you said, like a startup, you need investors for a startup.
Right.
So either you're getting investment from your company you work for, or you invest yourself.
Yeah.
You got to invest in yourself some, and it may be even as simple as investing your time, like you said, into going something like a user group. It takes time to do that, and it's important to do things like that.
And I think one of the things you have to be really intentional about is setting milestones. So you can't just say, I want to be over there in 12 months, I'm going to go to the user group, I'm going to try some stuff out, and I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Right, a user group is great, it's good for networking, but it's passive, right? You're going, you're listening, you got to take that information, take those resources, and go do something with it. So set monthly milestones. I'm going to try to build this part of this application, or I'm going to get through this next chapter in a book, or this training module, right? I'm going to have a very specific, smart, attainable, measurable type of goal, right? And, last but not least, when you treat yourself like a startup, you got to market your success. So as you're growing, you don't have to wait till you're done. When you learn something new, share it with somebody else. When you learn something new, go speak at that user group.
Right.
Go say, hey, I learned this new thing and I'm on my way to get here, but I wanted you to know about it.
Yeah.
Help other people, not so much to say, hey, Devin, great job, but more so to help other people, just like the people who helped you.
Yeah, that makes sense. And some user groups will even do things like if it's a very small, maybe not something that takes an hour to discuss, but something like a 10-minute.
Yeah.
You can do a 10-minute topic a lot of times.
Absolutely.
With those user groups to get it out and spread your word.
And some of the best things that you can do to help other people is explain to them how you were able to kind of prioritize and focus, right? Because we're all busy. Nobody really has, the first thing people say is, I don't have time. Right? If you truly can't make any time or allocate any kind of priority to your own development, you're not going to develop.
No.
That's just the way it goes. Vision board, no vision board, it's not going to happen, right? You have to prioritize and focus. Use those SMART goals to help you make measurable progress. And then, maybe do it together with a couple of other people and have some accountability.
Sense. Yeah. So, all right, so how do I get started on something like this?
Well, the first thing you have to do is understand what kind of time commitment you can make, right? So if it's an hour a week, if it's half a day a week, is it an hour every 2 weeks? Most people can carve out an hour a week. You have your lunch hour, you have something else where you can eat a sandwich at your desk and do something.
Right.
Most people can do that. So understand what kind of time commitment you have and then set some 30, 60, 90 goals. Go back to those SMART goals, right? Understanding where we want to be in 12 months, but come back and say, okay, it's going to be January, New Year's resolutions.
Right.
What am I going to know how to do by February 1? Or what am I going to have done by February 1?
Yeah.
And then hold yourself accountable to that. And maybe that means you double up 1 week and you try to get 2 hours in to make sure you get it done. But set those 30, 60, 90 goals. Then line up your resources. So you have some folks you work with who already know how to do this.
Yeah.
Give them a heads up. Hey, I'm working on this. I might have a question. I might need some help. Most people are pretty happy to help.
Sure.
If you have online resources, training, books, whatever, blogs, YouTube videos, whatever it is that you use to help learn, line those up, bookmark them, make sure they're right there at hand and have a plan to go through them. And I mentioned this before, but have an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Find somebody else who's trying to learn how to do the same thing. It could even be virtual, somebody at a different company, different office, somebody you met at a conference. It doesn't matter. But have somebody who will help pace you, who will say, hey, Devin, how'd you do this week? Just make sure you're making the time. Help have that accountability. It's really, really important.
Yeah, I really like the idea of setting goals too. That's huge. Having a normal goal that I meet for these 30 days, a stretch goal.
Yeah.
And give yourself some kind of reward, right?
Yeah.
Everyone likes working towards something that
like a new car.
I was thinking like, a movie or something like that.
Okay. We can take my new car to your movie.
No, but I think this is great stuff. So this gives you somewhere to get started to really kind of hack that. I love the term hacking here. You hear it a lot now, but hacking your personal development through a couple steps here. You gave some good tips on how to get started with it as well. I think that'll really give some good guidance, and I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. But what are some things that Pragmatic Works can do to help people?
Well, we see a lot of people doing this already through our on-demand training program.
Yeah.
Right? So, we have, how many classes now?
We're up to 28.
Oof.
Yeah.
Man. I remember when we had our first class.
Yeah.
Wow, 28 classes. And we have, I don't know how many in development, but a whole bunch.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 in development, yeah.
So, pretty soon we're going to be over 30. I think that, we have a lot of folks that, they need a on-demand, at their fingertips way to understand and learn a lot of new things in the data space, right? And so we have things from analytics to data platform to Excel to BI and all sorts of things that we have coverage for, especially Power BI. We have the best Power BI training really in the world. And, a lot of companies are needing folks to do that. And a lot of times, if you can show measurable progress, your company will invest.
Absolutely.
And our platform is actually built so you can show that progress, right? You can say, hey, I've completed these modules, I'm making progress, I'm making the most of your investment, Mr. Manager. And that will get you a lot of credibility to maybe continue to do more things. So I would check out our on-demand training platform if you're interested in doing something with Pragmatic Works to try to hack your professional development.
Yeah, the other thing that's built in with that as well is something called virtual mentoring. So it gives you a live person to talk to, not just an on-demand pre-recorded training, but a live person that you can schedule time with. You can talk to them about the professional development stuff if you wanted to. But they're obviously there to help from a technical perspective as well.
A lot of them will have gone through this process.
Absolutely.
We actually give you their home phone number so you can call them anytime, day or night. Their families don't care. It's actually a really great program.
We'll give you your home address if you want.
Just stop by.
Yeah.
Just stop by. Bring your code. Sit down at the dining room table.
Yes.
It's not weird. Don't make it weird.
Tell them they can take their kids to soccer practice later.
Right.
This is what's important right now.
This is my time. I'm committed. So most of that is true.
Yes.
Aside from the phone number and getting to go to people's houses.
Well, we're curious. What are you guys doing? So, what are some of the steps that you're taking to kind of hack your professional development? What are you doing? Is there something more, even more creative or different that you're doing? We'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and comment below. Let us know. And you can also follow us if you go to blog.pragmaticworks.com. You can check in with the other things that we're posting on a regular basis. We have at least 4 to 5 different posts a week, it seems like, going on now.
We have our free Power BI class.
Free Power
that's
BI.
out there.
Yeah, we have free custom visual Power BI course you can check out. We're up to, I think, module 30 now. Just about. We're getting up there. So make sure you check that out, and hope you guys enjoyed this. It's not a session. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
It is kind of like a little like a counseling session.
It feels like it. Yeah. I felt like you were giving me. You did pat me on the back at some one point.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
You deserve a pat on the back.
I get a pat on the back in lieu of a raise this year, right?
Well, you can also get a movie.
We hope you guys enjoyed it this week. We look forward to talking to you next time.
Thanks, everybody.